What is good? Welcome to a taste of vengeance. I'm Kevin, aka Charisma.
And I'm Kyle, Young Denzel.
This is a 3-episode series based on the existing 3 Avengers movies. The purpose of the show is to prepare ourselves for the Endgame. Today,
Kyle
and I are going to talk about Marvel's The Avengers.
Hey, I'm Kyle, like I said. The Avengers is a marvelous phenomenon that, you see what I did there? Phenomenon that hit the theaters in 2012. It absolutely changed how we saw superhero movies. With a 92% on the tomato meter, this movie created a standard for the rest of the stories that came after. So how did you feel about the Avengers movie?
At the time, when it was being very hyped at the time, I didn't see it in theaters. I waited till I watched it on Foot Locker. But when I was watching it, and I was like, this is really interesting, because you would watch all these Marvel movies, and it would be at the end, it would be like Thor will appear in the Avengers, Iron Man will appear in the Avengers stuff, and I'm like, all right, let's see how they put these guys all together. Like the fact that it was like a conjoined universe, and that wasn't it was a thing. Marvel didn't come up with it, but it was something that they were popularizing at the time. So actually seeing them all together and having all their unique aspects and personalities come together was perfectly woven, because each movie perfectly set it up. You had the cosmic cube in Captain America, and then Loki getting his hands on that, and then you had Loki getting thrown off the bridge at the end of Thor, and then finding the Chitauri and coming to Earth, and then you have Iron Man doing Robert Downey Jr.
Iron Man things,
and just seeing it all come together. And then you have Hawkeye doing whatever. He was useless in the movie.
His arrows. I just like that they had the Hulk and he wasn't bad. For the first time in.
Yo, that blew my mind when I saw the Avengers trailer, right? And I said, who is that? Who is this
man?
I was like, who is that? That's not Edward Norton. And then I found out he was recasted, and I saw Hulk, and I was like, why does Hulk look like a gorilla? But he went to Sakaar and he glowed up. So
they all had some marvelous glows.
He said, "Betty,
right, hit me up.
We won't talk no more."
Yeah, man. I honestly, Black Widow was good. Mm-hmm. Hulk was amazing. Thor, he made his way up, like you said.
Hated Captain America's suit in Avengers.
They just upgraded a whole lot for Captain America.
Did not like it.
Yeah, the whole hooded thing for me just kind of it worked in the comics, but actual on screen.
And then what I did was I saw behind the scenes comic, sketch art of concept art of Captain America's suit in Avengers, the first Avengers.
Right.
When what they were originally gonna do, and I was like, why didn't y'all do this? Why did y'all give him a Captain Puerto Rico suit?
He's America, man. Power to the people.
But yeah, it was good. Age of Ultron, to me, Age of Ultron still has the best trailer in all of the Marvel.
When they start singing?
Yeah, at the beginning, and then and then Ultron's just narrating. He's like, there are no strings on me. If you take a good look into the plot, you notice the story and conflicts coexist with each of the characters in the movies. I'm talking about the first Avengers, by the way. The main bad guy was Loki, brother of Thor. Loki needed the Tesseract, or the Cosmic Cube, the Infinity Stone first seen in Captain America, and he wanted to use the Hulk as a weapon. And the final battle took place in New York City, where the portal was being controlled from on top of Stark Tower at the time, because it was an Avengers Tower.
Yeah. Having a story like that syncs up, and it ensures that no character is just a loose piece. Even Black Widow, who has a pistol, and Hawkeye with a doggone bow and arrow, was kicking ass, bro. They were wilding all the time. So favorite scenes from the movie. I have to say when Hulk, busts out and just, I'm always angry. The whole theater erupts. So that was just a favorite scene for me. And when him and Thor were fighting on top of the, whatever the heck that monster was called, the giant flying centipede looking John. Those were,
I think to me, my favorite scene is when the camera comes and pans down and they're all like each individually like doing like it was like a one-track shot.
Right. Yeah.
It was like a one-track shot. It would go down to the streets, and then Iron Man and Captain America fighting. He pulls his shield and he shoots the laser beam, and it goes, and then it goes up, pulls up. Black Widow's on like one of the little flying carts, whatever. Zooms out. Hawkeye is doing his archery practice because he wasn't really doing much. And then it was just like, yeah, that was a perfect shot. Like really great cinematic. And also, spoiler alert: the term avenge means to inflict harm onto someone or something in return for injury or wrong done to oneself or another. Spoiler alert: when Phil Coulson died, it gave me more meaning to the title of the movie and the name of the team. Before his death, the team wasn't really working together. Like Robert Downey Jr. was being Iron Man and Thor was being Thor. They had nothing to avenge, so the team wasn't really ready. Were you a Marvel fan before or after the movie?
So my uncle was like a comic book nerd. So I grew up on Marvel, DC, all of that. So when they finally started, like when the first Iron Man came out, I jumped right on it. So all the bandwagon people that came afterwards, I was like, yeah, you guys are liars. You ain't never really liked Marvel like that. So I was always a Marvel fan, man.
Cartoons practically raised me, comic characters and all, so I was always into that. But Iron Man was one of my lesser known characters at the time. So the movie came out, he looked tough. Like when the movie came out, he looked better than he did in the comics. So I was when I watched it, I was like, yeah, this is super tough. Who's your favorite character and why?
In the whole entire? Or just
let's say MCU.
Okay,
not
in general.
Marvel Universe.
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Power to the people. Like, how do you beat somebody who, in theory, he can't die? I know they changed a lot of different things later on, where he can. We'll discuss that later. Okay. But yeah, Wolverine, he's just a beast. He goes all out, whatever he does, and he's just dope. Like, all around, 100%, paws and everything.
Man, who is my favorite character? That's a good question. I would say maybe not my favorite character, but a character that's really grown on me watching his journey is Thor. Thor is 1,500 years old, but the most impactful things that's ever happened in his life has happened within the past like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like that's really crazy. He's had it good for 1,500 years, and the past 10 years has been crap for him. And so watching him grow from an arrogant, like pretty boy royalty, thinking he has everything in a bag, to everything fumbling, and him actually like having substance. He's actually gotten attached to people who actually, if you really think about it, everyone in the Avengers is like, because of his lifeline, every one of the Avengers is probably like, his whole time being spent with the Avengers probably like a week, like compared to everyone else. And the fact that like he's cherished them so well, like even though he knows he's gonna be living forever, and he's on a journey to avenge his brother who's consistently betrayed him every time. Like it's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, man. Thor's a bad mother trucker. Do you care what happened to Coulson though?
Woo! I was hoping you was gonna ask this because I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, so you got the real.
So everyone just really knows Coulson because of the TV show. I mean, because of the movies and such. Whatever they've seen him in, they've only seen him twice. It's first Avengers and Captain Marvel. But I've been watching Coulson since like 2013. So like, when Coulson died in the movie, I didn't care. But then I started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I was like, I really dig Coulson because he's badass, and then he's also quick-witted. I realized that in the show, every villain hates him because he always has something to say.
Reminds you of yourself?
Yes.
When he died in the movie, I definitely, I cared. I was like, oh, this might be something to spark it. I didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't know Coulson like that. But definitely in the movie, I was like, oh, snap. Like, now they have something to fall back on, especially when Iron Man heard and they came into the room and told him, yeah, Coulson's dead. Everybody was like,
Also, another thing about that, remember the blood on the cards?
Yeah,
He didn't
exactly.
have his cards on him.
Exactly.
Nick Fury
That
took
was
it
disrespectful.
as like, dip a little bit
Right,
of this
let me
on it,
just
like,
get
so they'd be like, oh, add more impact.
some Coulson blood.
But would you trade your job to be an Avenger? Keep in mind that people are constantly trying to kill you.
Okay, do I get to choose the Avenger I am?
No, we said to be an Avenger.
Do I get to choose my powers?
Who said you get powers? Who said
Wow.
be an Avenger?
All right, so I'm just a regular soldier running around. Okay, in that case, if I'm just a regular soldier just there with guns, I don't want to be an Avenger. That's too much work. To be honest with you, I'd rather sit back and watch them do their stuff from like a safe. When they're over in Sokovia, like in one of the movies, I'm gonna just be in America like, wow, they're doing real well. I appreciate those Avengers. Yep. But if I have powers, oh yeah, let me start fighting everything. I mean, it puts meaning to your life.
First of all, the Avengers compound is dope. You feel me? Everything you weigh on you hand and foot. Thor doesn't even have a home. Thor is homeless at the moment, but you know he's living good in the Avengers compound. Like, I'd be an Avenger. Who said I really have to do anything? Because everything is set for me. He was gonna have Peter Parker come and live with him in the Avengers compound. I mean, that's luxury. All right, so that sums this up. Tune in next time. We'll be discussing Ultron and his plan for evolution.
There ain't no strings on me.
I have no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. I had no strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me.